Sorry. All right, so this is my presentation on Ebola virus, right? So my name is Aryan Pendram. I am in the 8th grade. I go to base Sawatuki, and yeah, let's get started. So I will be going over my introduction, my related literature, my results and methodology, and my conclusion. Okay, so the purpose of my paper is to find available treatment options for Ebola. So as of right now, there is not. Did my camera just freeze? Okay, as of right now, there is not an actual treatment for. Why did my camera just cut out? Okay, I'm just going to continue.
It's okay, honey. It's okay. Continue. It's okay. Perfect.
All right, so as of right now, there's not an active treatment for Ebola. There are vaccines in development, but right now they are not really tested and they're not safe. So the purpose of my paper is to find other treatment options for Ebola. So Ebola is a major problem in many third world countries, and it especially plagues certain regions of Africa. So on this picture here, I have a picture that shows where outbreaks normally occur. So it's in Liberia. There was an outbreak earlier, and it was really large, right? It threatened a actual city. So yeah, and my research question is how to get a more effective, cheaper, and safer vaccine that can be mass distributed. This paper also explores some available treatments and also existing vaccines. All right, so my literature review. So outbreaks in history. So the first instance of Ebola was in a 1967 outbreak, which occurred in Liberia, Guinea, and other parts of Western and Southern Africa. Pathogenesis and symptoms. So Ebola has been connected with a variety of symptoms, including uveitis, meningoencephalitis, a high-grade fever, and many other symptoms that I did not have time to list. So for pathogenesis, so from a skin wound, right? When you have a skin wound, when it goes through, it'll go up through your skin, and once it reaches the brain, the symptoms I listed will happen. So it moves throughout the blood and causes a variety of deadly symptoms. So possible treatment options. So some possible treatment options are phosphorodiamidate morpholino oligomers. So PMOs. So there are theoretical treatment that attacks the VP24 and VP35 proteins. So VP24 and VP35 proteins, they delay immune response. So like interferons such as cytokines, chemokines, and other chemicals. So what this does is it delays an immune response. So it stops early treatment and early effectiveness against the virus. And there are already existing vaccines, but none of them have actual human testing. So we're not sure if they're safe, and also they're not cheap at all. So it's hard to mass distribute them to countries which are unable to get them. So like the ones by Russia and China, like they're emergency use only, and they've only been tested on non-human primates. And there are also experimental vaccines made by companies like Merck and Janssen. I don't know how to pronounce it. All right, so my methodology. So I have sources that I have acquired are credible. So I use sources like WHO, which is the World Health Organization, the NIH, National Library for Medicine, the CDC, Centers for Disease Control, and other credible sources. For my results, I have identified treatments that target the virus's life cycle, and they are effective. It's proven effective. Existing vaccines have only been tested on non-human primates. As I said, they're not cheap and they're not effective. PMOs and immune system modulators are effective, but human testing is required to guarantee an actual cheap and safe vaccine. And so I have a few questions here. Why is it important for a vaccine? So Ebola has been attributed to over like 11,000 casualties ever since 1967, right? So to prevent further deaths, we have to get a vaccine so we can allow those economies to rebuild and get back to what they were before. And how to get a cheap, effective vaccine? So we have to use new technologies like PMOs, immunomodulators, and other stuff. Testing with already existing strategies has to happen to ensure safety. Here's my conclusion. So, overview. So, Ebola is a hemorrhagic disease that has a high fatality rate. There are treatment options, but they have not been tested. And new treatments targeting proteins within the viral life cycle are promising, and they can probably provide a reliable treatment or a vaccine. This paper contributes treatment options for Ebola. It also gives awareness. It tells you how Ebola is spread. Ebola is spread via the contact with bodily fluids of an infected person. So if you know that, it's easier to contain. Because if you know how you're going to get infected by Ebola, you can prevent yourself from getting. So you need awareness. Proper safety practices ensure that the virus cannot be spread. So if we know how it's spreading, we can stop it from being spread. Some limitations of my paper. So PMOs and immunomodulators are like a really new technology, and many better treatments and many more effective treatments may come to light. And also, human testing is kind of difficult to come by. That's why Russia and China have not been able to do it. Yeah, and that's my presentation. Okay, let me see if I can turn on my camera. Nope, it doesn't. It doesn't want to on. All right, so my experience with Gifted Gabber. Gifted Gabber actually gave me my first experience within the research field. It was extremely fun to research topics about Ebola. Dr. Kate, she helped me a lot, like getting my first steps in the infectious disease. I'm an 8th grader, right? So I don't know much about this topic, but the researching stuff has been really, really fun. It's helped me a lot, and it's like I've written my first paper. I've never done that before. It was fun. Dr. Virgil, Professor Virgil, she really, she really helped me write my paper. It's really good grammatically. It's really good formatted. She helped me write my related literature, my methodology, and my results and discussion. All right.
Dr. Kate, a question for Aryan.
Yes. Could you explain for everybody, just very briefly, what an immunomodulator would be?
Okay, yeah, sorry, I didn't go into that, but immunomodulators, right? So what they can do is they modulate your immune system, obviously, but what it does is it changes the, like, what's the word? Environment your immune system is in. So, like, it's like, for example, we could add more cytokines. So, like, we can increase the amount of cytokines being produced by cells that are in trouble, right? So then it would promote an immune response. So then it's easier to get rid of the virus.
Very good.
Amazing. You can stop sharing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can stop sharing, Aryan. And Aryan, you're a big fat liar. I cannot believe you're in 8th grade. Okay, you really. Oh my God, it is pretty darn amazing what you've done. I mean, the only thing I'll tell you is don't submit your paper for publishing now because the clock starts ticking for high school in 9th grade. So please, once your 9th grade starts, please publish then. Got it? Or it'll become a school activity. Mind blown. Dude, you have a wonderful future ahead. The depth at which you've gone into it, and you have just the right attitude by taking it as fun, right? Like having fun with it, and you just are amazing, and great job, Aryan. Wishing you all the best for the future, and I want to come back and mentor students who are seniors or juniors because they've got a lot to learn from you. Okay, so great job, Aryan. Wonderful.
Thank you so much.